All right, guys. So you've heard the phrase, every single college football Saturday. You get hype at all of the theme songs, the soundtracks of every single network that covers football, right?
Igoe, that's who commits to Penn State out of the transfer portal.
Schools have just become some stops.
It's not just recruiting, it's really roster management.
In a world where rosters look different year to year and where coaches fight, who really holds the power in college football? Is it sustainable, and does the love of the game mean anything anymore? This is the transfer portal trap.
Apartment, Prabula takes it straight ahead and gets into the end zone. Bo Prabula following.
I'm gonna focus today on college football. And the big question is, what is the transfer portal? So to put it simply, it's literally how you transfer schools. Let's go back in time. So in 2018, that is when the transfer portal started. It's basically like if you're online shopping, but for sports. You need a defensive tackle? Okay, let's hit the portal. You need a quarterback? Okay, go look in the portal. It's literally online shopping for players. And so before 2018, when the transfer portal became a thing, you needed special permission to transfer from your school. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to go transfer. And when you got permission, you would be penalized. And you would have to sit out a year. Now, if you really want to, you can go play at a different school every single year without permission from your school and without any sort of eligibility penalty. Generally, a player will enter the portal by filling out a written request, and then the school will put your name in the portal. Other programs have access to this portal, but if you don't get picked up, you could just stay at the same school. Likely, when a player enters the transfer portal, they usually leave, and their current school will be looking to backfill that roster spot with a different transfer or a high school recruit. But timing-wise, right now, there's a single 15-day window where football players can enter in the portal. This year, it was January 2nd to January 16th. There's also a 5-day special window to anyone who wins the national championship. So players have to enter their name by the deadline, but they don't have a deadline for choosing where they go. If your coach is fired or takes another job at a different school, you get a special 30-day window to enter the portal. Now this brings us to Penn State, a school with a new coach and basically a new roster. Matt Campbell left Iowa State and took the Penn State job.
How's it sound?
Still getting used to it, but man.
To fill up James Franklin's spot. But he brought 24 players with him, including starting quarterback Rocco Becht and defensive lineman Igoe. Ike was an academic all Big 12 at Iowa State.
My coach ended up leaving, so I knew that I wasn't, and I already did my 4 years at Iowa State, so I had a feeling like, okay, there's really no reason for me to be here. And honestly, I transferred mainly because I wanted just to see like a new program and see what everything is like and just see ways I can, better myself. Honestly, I was nervous about the whole process of it, but going to a new school, I was more excited because I knew it was going to be a new opportunity.
If you follow your coach to a new school, I think the odds are very high that admissions is going to accept you, and especially if you're an undergrad.
You could draw up all sorts of reasons for transferring. And playing at multiple schools is more common now than it ever was. It could be the new normal. Take former Penn State quarterback Bo Prabula, for example. He played in more than 20 games as a backup at Penn State. And when Drew Aller announced he was going to return for his senior season, he said, "See ya," in the middle of a playoff run. It was either leave the team during the playoffs or sit on the bench.
The first time I transferred, there were 2 transfer portal windows open. So like you could transfer in the winter, and then once the spring was over too, there was a spring portal window. But this year, there was only 1 window, which I think is a good thing.
Prabula transferred from Penn State to the University of Missouri in 2024. He became the starter for the Tigers, but missed playing time with an injury. He hit the portal again, and now is at the University of Virginia.
Like programs were treating it a little differently because they had to finalize their roster in the winter, and they couldn't add anybody in the spring.
I think once you enter the portal, you're gone.
it always goes really fast. Really just, I think, finding like we talked about, program that fits me the best, just because it's my last year of college football. So just finding a spot that, I wanted to maximize my final year.
Well, that process kind of took a month to really figure everything out. So yeah, that's how the process was. Honestly, it can be easy for anybody, but whatever you put on film is what other coaches are looking at. So that's really the reason why it'll be harder for some guys to transfer or easier for some guys to transfer.
Now, there are some wild careers out there, like quarterback TJ Finley. 7 schools in 7 years, all right? But you're only supposed to have 4 to 5 years of eligibility, right? So thanks to COVID, you got an extra year of eligibility. And then TJ Finley, in his case, he had 2 injuries, one in 2022 and one in 2024. So that's 2 extra years of eligibility added on to the other eligibility year from COVID. But he's not the only one who's had this.
If you're Division I, you're thinking about making money after you finish your college career, but then also you're thinking about making some bank while you're still in school.
For me, I don't think it affects me, but for like my personal experience, yeah, because like some people will be like, oh, I'm just gonna leave this program just to go get $1 million here, and then it's like, you go there, you get the money probably, but what are you really doing?
I think both times, biggest fear is just making the wrong decision on a program that doesn't fit you. I really tried my best to sit down with all the people I need to sit down with.
So it's kind of like in a relationship, it's like you're teetering back and forth. You end that by hitting the portal.
It starts faster with bigger schools.
So far, we've only talked about college football success stories. But you know what? Let's break down some numbers. According to the NCAA, more than 10,000 college football players entered the portal this January in 2026 across every single division. That means 20 to 30% of all college football players entered the transfer portal in 2026. Just in FBS alone, the largest football division, there were more than 1,200 players left in the portal when it closed.
I mean, this past portal, I went to like 7 different schools in 7 different days.
I got a lot going from a different school, seeing what the school provides for you, and then seeing what the sports also provide for you. I feel like it's just a great stepping stone for what you want to be able to accomplish in the future. So
it's really like athletics first and then school, which really isn't what it's meant to be.
If you're to learn anything from this, think about this. The power dynamic has shifted. Coaches used to be the kings of the program, but now all they need are massive money donors just to keep their best players around. So what's coming next? Will we see an ironclad contract? Will we see college football players become employees? We'll see what happens. But for now, we have plenty of football players caught in a trap that they won't escape.